right, Manan, thank you for the introduction. We were very entertained by the previous acts, but slightly disappointed because it seems like they have taken some of our material. But ours is on PowerPoint, so that's much better. My name is Kunal. This is Sanjay, Kuntal, Jay, Mike. And in different forms, we've known Samik for a very, very long time. Mike as far back as elementary school, and through on undergrad and medical school, we've all gotten to have a chance to get to know Samik very well. And we're really honored that you guys gave us a chance to speak here today. For you, those of you that don't know, there has been one day in Samik's life that he has been dreading for at least 7 years. Most of you would think it's his wedding day where he has to spend the rest of his life with somebody else, but that's not it. It's actually this moment right here. The fact that we are standing up here with the ability to say whatever we want about him has been constantly reminded to he's been giving us a constant reminder of this, I'd say every 2 months or 3 months for the past 7 years. He's like, there's no way you're gonna get up here with a microphone. Well, Samik, I got the microphone. We're not here just to have at it and bring you down. We're not here to just say wonderful, beautiful, nice things. We're just trying to tell you a little story about how we know Samik and kind of the path that we've seen him take over the years. So I'll turn it over to Sanjay.
There we go. So true story. That last picture you saw was 2004 in Miami. And one of the things, we found a lot of random things about Samik. One of the things we found was that he loves to sleep talk. Forum, you will find out soon, he does not stop talking in his sleep. He talks, most of the talk was always about his wedding and what he was going to plan. But we found that there were one particular topic that he constantly discussed. And so when he's sleep talking, most of the times, while he looks usually like that, he's constantly talking about his 3 most ideal jobs. And so what we want to do in the next few minutes is tell you what those 3 ideal jobs are.
So his first and #1 job that everybody already talked about tonight is a new website that I want to introduce. It's called goodyearrebates.com. And Samik has been working on this basically his whole life. So for the rest of the people in the audience that doesn't know what goodness means, let me define it for you. It's a frugal individual who attempts to negotiate final terms and prices regardless of time, place, or etiquette. And for all my Gujarati people, where are my Gujarati people? Right. He defines conjuice, or also known as fiscally responsible or monetary aware.
So I've known Samik quite a long time, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly when he, embraced the tenets of goodness. But I mean, there's a number of examples that I could throw out there. But one that comes to mind, those free AOL dial-up CDs you get in the mail for 3 months of AOL. Yeah, he would collect all those in a big stack and hand them out at school to make friends. Yeah, good gifts, great gifts.
So how many of you guys in the room have filled out a rebate? You bought something, filled out a rebate? Well, Samik, I remember one afternoon on a Sunday, me and Arthi went to Forum in Samik's place, and we filled out rebates. We filled out 50 rebates for Norton antivirus software. We all got free laptops, which was really cool. We all got free laptops out of this thing. But the best thing is, 4 years later, I get this random email. Hey, Rana, you know what, that free laptop? There's something wrong with it. Fill out this other form, and you'll get another free laptop. So it gets better. So we got 2 free laptops. So I got it, my sister got it, my sister-in-law got it, Sanjay got it. I mean, there's so many free laptops, all because of Samik. So thank you, Samik, for the free laptops.
On that same theme, there was a time several years ago where we were headed to Las Vegas. City of sin, multiple bars and clubs. So all of us get our backpacks on. We have some nice clothes, we have a nice suit, and a van comes to pick us up, a taxi comes to pick us up. And so all of us have our backpacks, And Samik comes out lugging this huge suitcase. And we're like, Samik, we're going for 3 days. He's like, yeah, I know, but you know, I found this really good deal on Miller Lite. So I figured we would just pack 60 bottles of Miller Lite and check it in. So literally, we had 60 bottles of beer in Las Vegas because we refused to pay for it ourselves.
And we stayed at Excalibur, $29 a night.
Yeah, that wasn't the only time he illicitly brought liquor in. Hopefully I'm not saying anything out of turn here, but yeah, between the TSA agents and like the threat of Gitmo, didn't stop him. Those little 3-ounce shampoo bottles that you can bring aboard. He brought those for his bachelor party to do some pregame drinking on board the aircraft. Just filled a whole bunch of like little 3-ounce bottles. I don't know how many, it was like 80 or so, in order to buy him and his brother to get drunk.
All right, so the next story is actually about Sprint. Anybody use Sprint in the room? Any Sprint users? So I still have my BlackBerry. I'm still proud of it. It's not a touchscreen. But so Samik introduced Sprint to me and my family, and basically everybody else on the stage. We got free internet, which is, you know, the basic mode. We get something free. But on top of that, we said, Samik's like, hey, Rana, why are you paying $20 a month in tax? I was like, everybody pays tax. We live in Chicago, we pay tax. He's like, no. You know what I did? I found a Raj Modi in some Bumbleland, Nevada, and I am using his address for my parents' address. And in Nevada, there's no sales tax, and no state tax, and no other tax. Wait, it gets better. But I said, Samik, but they're going to find out you're using their address. He's like, no, Rana, come on. You got to give me some credit. I'm like, yeah, I give you credit. What's your deal? I do an e-bill. So I get an email with the bill to Raj Modi in Nevada. I pay no tax. I'm saving $20 a month. I'm getting free internet. But then it gets better. He's like, well, Rana, aren't you getting the employee discount? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a medical student. I don't get any discounts. He said, no, work for Ford. I'm like, I don't work for Ford. So he said, just call him up, say you work for Ford. I said, all right, I work for Ford. So still to today, I get my bill. I get the Ford employee discount. 27% off my bill, thanks to that man.
All right.
True story.
These are all true stories, by the way. So one last story. So, one day we were studying in school, and Samik comes up to me at about noon and says, hey, man, I'm kind of hungry. I say, all right, let's go get some food. He's like, I'm kind of hungry for Taco Bell. I said, sure, that sounds good. So I said, he's like, what do you want? I say, I don't know, a couple tostadas, a burrito, that sounds good. He says, really? Why don't you get the Mexican pizza? And knowing Samik, I say, listen, really? You want to spend $4 on a Mexican pizza? That's impressive, right? Redefining goojness. And he says, no, man, come over here. So I come on over. And he opens up his laptop, and he goes to www.tacobell.com, and there is a login and a username. So he puts in his login and username to tacobell.com, and there is a special page for frequent users and coupons. So I said, oh, wow, this is pretty good. He downloads a coupon for buy one Mexican pizza, get a second Mexican pizza for free if you buy a drink. I said, all right, that's good. So I'm like, all right, let's print them out and go over to Taco Bell. He's like, well, I don't really want a drink. I'm like, well, you don't really have a choice. He says, no, I have a choice. Hold on. He pulls up Photoshop, Photoshops out the free drink part, and now the coupon just says, buy one Mexican pizza, get one free. I say, oh, okay.
You still have it, don't you?
So we go and we get Mexican pizzas for everybody.
One more story before we move on. I just remembered with the rebate story, there was an account you set up, didn't you? For your rebates you're going to collect for your honeymoon. Is that not true? There was a rebate account for your honeymoon. What happened? You used it all? Oh, man.
We just started. No.
All right, so his second dream job was to be an Olympian. So we were all, he wanted to be first. He wanted to be a ping pong player. But when he first tried out for that, the coach said, he has no hand-eye coordination, no ping pong. So next thing came along was he could be a diver, but has anybody seen him swim? He thinks he could swim, but he almost belly flops every time he's in the water. So that was out. Then he tried out for the men's gymnast team. Now this was the deal. He has so much finesse when he dances and when he does anything, very charismatically. But the men's coach said, you don't have any upper body strength. So then he tried out for the women's gymnastic team. And and as you guys all know, the London Olympics just passed. And so Samik made the team. But when he was doing, the only sporting event he was allowed to do was the floor exercise. Because, again, the other sporting requires upper body strength. So the floor exercise was the only one he could get away with. But, again, he failed at that. So he had to go on to something else. Because those dancing skills, that finesse, that grace, as our parents would say, has to shine somewhere. So I think he went to Bollywood dancing, was it?
That's right. Samik went to Bombay and was trying to become a background dancer for any Bollywood film. And essentially, this was years ago, and we thought all the film had been destroyed because the dancing was so horrific. However, we were able to come across a few still photos. They're a little blurry, but they really depict Samik's auditions and tryouts and unfortunately explain why he didn't become a background dancer. So let's move to his initial move. This is how Samik typically likes to start. We call it the tricep flex. And fortunately, I have Kunal here with me, who was Mr. Bollywood runner-up 2002. He's going to help us break down where exactly Samik went wrong.
All right, so Jay, I see two things wrong right off the bat, okay? One's minor, one's major. Number one, his wrist is cocked in the wrong direction, okay? It's not supposed to bend that way based on what I learned in medical school, but for some reason it seems to twist in an awkward manner. That's automatically points off. The major issue is that, well, the people that were running the audition asked him, Samik, can you do the tricep flex? Upon closer examination, they realized Samik does not have a tricep.
So moving on from the tricep flex, Samik typically likes to throw in a crowd pleaser and goes on to the Thriller, paying homage to the late Michael Jackson. However, once again, fails to really accomplish this feat. Kunal, where do you see the mistakes here?
Again, two things. Number one, the hips are very rigid. There needs to be some sort of thrusting happening that just doesn't seem to be happening here. The other thing I'll go to again is the lack of deltoid musculature. He's unable to raise his arm past 30 degrees for some reason. For some reason.
The last thing I noticed, which is kind of small, but Samik is just not facing the right direction. If we go back, typically if you're trying out, you probably want to be facing the director. However, Samik has no idea what's going on. He's flipped around, and the tire is just awful. So he was really bombing it. And moving on from the Thriller, he really was going on to his signature move, the helicopter. Now, Samik typically is a top 10 performer in this field, but once again, he failed miserably.
Well, this is more of the same. I just don't think he can get the arms up, number one. Number two, at some point in time, he has to stop looking down. I don't know if he's concerned about his ability to trip, whether his shoelaces are untied, or if he thinks that, well, he just can't look up to see the reaction of everybody else in the room, so he'll just keep going.
Yeah, it's odd that he refuses to face the audience. And so this was more of a Black Hawk Downer than a true helicopter. And trying to save his tryout here, he went to something that was supposed to be pretty easy, just bread and butter. It's called the Bollywood. And once again, Samik is looking at his feet. His hands cannot make it up above his shoulders. This is just complete misery right here. And at this point, the tryout was supposed to be over, supposed to be taken off the stage, but he really wanted to finish gracefully. And that takes us to the very last pose, the Samik Modi finish, where he finally mustered up the strength to get his arms above his shoulders. He is managing to look at the director, however, he's got such an ugly look on his face that he did not get the part.
Look, this is all well and good, and I'm sure after we've gone on for the last few minutes, you realize there easily could be at least 30, 40, 50 more stories. But we'll leave it here. And again, I told you before, the point wasn't just to make fun of you, although we did a lot. But we wanted to tell you one thing. And one day you'll be able to look past all the jokes that we made and you'll realize one thing. You have so many quirks and so many oddities, and yet all 5 of us are standing up here, more than happy and honored to say something at your wedding. And so you must have qualities, strong qualities, that make us want to be friends with you. You're a very, very dear friend. You're a loyal friend. You'll always ask first what's going on with you. How are you? How are things? Whether it be in the house, job, whatever it is. That's always something you do first. And the other thing you do, and the other thing we know, is that if we ever needed anything, you would be there in a heartbeat. And that's why you can be as quirky and weird as you want, but you're still such a good friend. And we are very happy that you found a compliment in Forum. She's comparatively grounded. She's stable. She lets you fly. She lets you do what you want to do. And she makes sure that at the end of the day, you come home and your head's at a level place. And so we're extraordinarily happy for the both of you. We wish you years and years of happiness, and hopefully we can, maintain this for the rest of our lives. Congratulations.
And for the rest of you in the dance, tonight when he's dancing, do the Modi tonight. Helicopter, the Bollywood.
I guess as the best man, I have the privilege to take some time to say a few words to Samik Forum. I've thought about long and hard about what I was going to say, maybe 5 or 7 years, and I always tease Forum about what I'm going to say tonight. I thought about roasting Samik, and I could do so easily along with Forum, but I think the bridesmaids and the groomsmen have done a great job of it so far. I could very easily pick on Forum. And I promise not to teach my son that name. Man, it took you 7 years to get here. You would think that with all the coupon deals, all the rebates, all the cheapness, that you guys could have found a deal on the decorations, the hall, the horse, the mandap, and the honeymoon, that you would have been here like in half the time. And what also I'm surprised about is that he hasn't approached any of his friends who have all gotten married in the last couple years, or her friends, on a 2-for-1 deal to all do it at one time. Come on, Jill, Raman, Ekta, Ankur, Raquel, and Jay. You guys, it would have been fun, right? I met Forum for the first time on April 22nd, 2006. I was in town for my friend's wedding. Samik called Forum, and he said he wanted her to meet me and Kavita, who I was dating at the time. And she came late night to the wedding reception and hung out with us. And we loved you from the moment we met you. You were beautiful. You were well-spoken. You tried very hard to impress us. And you did. Sorry. Since we moved to Chicago in 2007, you have both been in our lives all the time. I sent Samik to go apartment hunting for me and Kavita as I was living in Connecticut and Kavita was living in Toronto. I sent him to 20 places. He picks the place in his building. We haven't been able to get rid of him since. Samik, when I left for Pittsburgh, you were still the guy that went out with your boys and called me at 3 a.m. asking me what I was doing while I was trying to sleep to get up for an OB delivery. But since I've been back, you've not only been my little brother, but a confidant and a friend for both of us. Forum, we've enjoyed having you in our lives, and you are a true little sister to the both of us. Now, Kavita has had the privilege of growing up with a little sister in her house, but I had this coupon clipping, slick deals using twerp as my little brother. I welcome you to our family, and I look forward to get to know you more and more every day. The bonus of visiting Kavita and I is that you get to play with your little Bubba on a regular basis. And he can ask for a better kaka and kaki than you guys are to him in the short 10 weeks that he's been around. Now, Samik, I have to thank you because my little son has stolen the spotlight with all the paparazzi this entire weekend, including when we left our house today. All 5 cameras, including the professional camera, was on my son instead of the groom. But he promises to let you pay him back. That by his half birthday, which is only 3 months from now, maybe you can announce to us that you'll have a little friend for him. Samik Forum, you're both very loving, caring, determined, and persistent people. We all know that regardless of where you go, who you go with, what you do, or what you strive to do, you will both succeed. We have all benefited from your generosity and love, as proven by all the free laptops and the discounts. And now, since you guys love to be so generous, now that your wedding prep is finally over, I have a little work this week as I move, so I'll expect to see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Samik, can you please turn your mic on for a second? I would like you to tell all of us the last time you actually won an argument with Forum. And tell us about it.
I don't know the last one I won. I could tell you about the last one I lost.
How about the last one you won?
The last one I won.
The last one you lost is about the jewel on your tie earlier today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also lost the one about the har, and she made you
lost the
come
har.
down. That's 2 already today. Pretty impressive.
Jeez. I do win a lot. I don't. What was the one? Maybe I don't.
If you can figure one out, you should cherish it. Remember the photo from it. Put a plaque up on your wall. From this day on, it's the last one you will ever win. If everyone could now raise their glasses in a toast to the bride and groom. Live like you were dying. Laugh like you've never been hurt. Dance like no one is looking. And help others as if they were your own. From Kavita, Ayan, and myself, congrats, eternal happiness to both of you and all of our future nieces and nephews.
Dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika re dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika re dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika re dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika dinka chika re
महीने में 12 तरीके से तुझको प्यार जताऊंगा रे बारह मिनट भी लगता है अब ना तेरे बिन रह पाऊंगा रे
चोरी से काटी है यहाँ वहाँ, रूठी हूँ मैं तुझसे रूठी हूँ, मुझे मना लेना ओ जाने जा।
छेड़ेंगे हम तुझको, लड़की तू है बड़ी बुम्बाट, आहा आहा आहा, उलाला 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 उलाला, तू है मेरी फैंटेसी।
छूना ना छूना ना, छूना ना छूना ना, अब मैं जवां हो गई।
अरे 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 उलाला 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 उलाला, तू है मेरी फैंटेसी।
छूना ना छूना ना, छूना ना छूना ना, अब मैं जवां हो गई।
This is the future, man.
Muscular, है popular, है muscular, है popular, spectacular, he's a bachelor. पप्पू की गाड़ी तेज है, पप्पू कुड़ियों में क्रेज है,
पप्पू की आंखें लाइट ब्लू, पप्पू दिखता अंग्रेज है।
राडो की घड़ी हाथों में, परफ्यूम गुची वाला।
But Samik can't dance, Sala.
I'd now like to introduce the greatest parents in the world, Mr. Paresh and Sobna Patel. Without their hard work and commitment, this wedding would not have been possible. So with that said, Mom and Dad, please join me on stage to say a few words.
Welcome everyone. I want to start off by thanking everyone for joining us today to celebrate the marriage of my daughter Forum to my new son Samik. Our guests have traveled from near and far, and Sobna and I would like to thank each one of you. A special thanks to you, to my brother-in-law Natwar Bhai, and my two sister-in-laws, Nisa Ben and Bhavna Ben, who travel all the way from India to join us today. A very big thank you to my parents, Kanubai and Chandrika Ben. You have always supported us and helped us in every way possible. We could not have raised our three children without the both of you. Rajbhai and Naina Ben, thank you for all your hard work during the wedding planning. We are very excited to have you as a part of our family. To my better half, my wife Sobna, this wedding would not have been possible without you and without your hours of hard work. endless dedication and attention to detail. Together, we have raised 3 wonderful children, and I cannot believe our oldest is married today. One down, 2 more to go. I cannot thank you enough for always being by my side and my biggest support. I love you, Sobna. To my beautiful daughter, Forum, where do I begin with you? I want to start off my saying that you look absolutely stunning today. It feels like just yesterday that we were sending you off to school for the first time with 2 big chotla. Here you are today, a successful woman sitting beside your new husband. Your mom and I could not be happier for you. You have always made us proud, and we know that you will continue to make us and your new family proud. Samik, you are a great addition to our family, and I am proud to call you my son. My daughter has been her happiest since meeting you, and I know that you will take good care of my little girl. Samik, if I can share one piece of advice with you, is always let her forum be right. You will never win. All jokes aside, this day has been very emotional for both Subna and me. We don't want to think of today as the day we gave away our daughter, but as the day we gain another son. If everyone can raise their glasses, here is to happy couple. Congratulations again, Forum and Samik. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy tonight.
I would have waited. Okay. Next, I'm going to introduce Samik's parents. They've put a lot of hard work and dedication to this wedding, as have Paresh uncle and Shobna auntie. And they would like to say a few words. So if you could please come up here, take the mic.
Paresh bhai had only 2 pages speech. I have about 4 pages. Front, back, upside and downside. No, just kidding. Jai Jai Sri Gokulesh, Jai Sri Krishna. Many of you have traveled from all corners of USA, within Chicagoland, Canada, and India. Naina and I and my family would like to thank each and every one of you. Many of you have put their time, devoted their time and effort to make this occasion a memorable event, not for us as our parents, but for Samik and Forum. We thank you all for all your hard work and effort and the support you have given to us. Forum, we have known you for a while. I remember the day when Ketan was engaged in engagement party, and one of our good friend later on told us that this is the girl for Samik. We did not know at that time. We found out later. Thank you, Hema. Today, you are officially Mrs. Modi. Welcome. You have been as a daughter to us. You will always be as another daughter to us. Samik and Forum, we wish you a happy and healthy life. Ben, my mother, physically who is not here, just few miles away from here, has sent her greetings and said to both of you, Jai Jai Shri Gokhles and Beta Sukhi Raho. Let us dance away the night and enjoy the rest of the evening. And Paresh Bhai, Shobna Ben, thank you. And Patel family, everyone else. Thank you very much. And let's have the evening to the best for all. Naina would like to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Are you enjoying? Are you getting bored? Thank you, everyone, for coming to celebrate with us. Samik, Jayaba, Bapuji, and Motabai are watching you over, you both. And they are happy and giving you the blessing, even they are not with us. Since you have been dating Samik, Forum, you have been our daughters to me, and today is official. Now you are official our daughter. Now our family is complete until your little one comes. JJ, God bless you both. Have a happy, peacefully, healthy life. And just have fun, fun, fun. Forget the past argument, whatever is happened. And your new life starts, happiness, and with the God blessing. Mom and Daddy's blessing is always with you guys. Thank you to give me opportunity to speak.
All right, thank you to both parents for their kind words. Now that you've seen this spectacular performance from the bride's side, I'd like to call on stage the groom's side, their cousins, to see, let's see what you got.
It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain, with or without you.
Girl, you're my chamacachalo. Where you go, girl, I'm gonna follow. What you want, girl, just let me know. You could be my chamacachalo. Shorty, I'm gonna get ya. You know I'm gonna get ya. You know I'll even let you be my chamacachalo. Yes, I sharmana, aja nach ke dikhare. Ha meri hole, aja pari da girare. Ha meri akhiyon se akhiyan mila re. Ha tu na nakle dikha. Wanna be my chamacachalo. Wanna be my chamacachalo. Wanna be my chamacachalo. Wanna be my chamacachalo.
हमको कहते सुपरमैन ऑन कर लो हैंडी कैम फ्रॉम AM to PM बंदे एक्चुअल सर्विसमैन ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਲਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਬੇਮਤਲਬ ਕਰਦਾ बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए साडी तां देसी है अदा साडे ते हो जानी फिदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए
सुबह होने ना दे साथ खोने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे तू मेरा हीरो ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ तू मेरा हीरो ओ ओ
सुबह होने ना दे साथ होने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे मैं तेरा हीरो हाँ हीरो हाँ हीरो मैं तेरा हीरो
How's everyone doing? Are we hungry yet? Are we ready for the bars to open again? Okay. We have one more thing on the program for tonight. And it's probably the most important part of the program tonight. The happy couple would love to say something and to talk to you guys tonight with a little speech. However, there is a surprise for Forum tonight first. So if we could start with the surprise.
So I'm not a real singer, so, and I'm sick.
You say you want diamonds on a ring of gold. You say you want your story to remain untold. But all the promises we make from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. You say you give me a highway with no one on it, a treasure just to look upon it. All the riches
this, but all the promises we made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. You say you want your love to work out right, to last with me through the night. You say you want diamonds on a ring of gold, or most night, your story to remain untold, your love not to grow cold, but all the promises we've made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you.
Okay, so I guess that leads into the speech for the night. First off, obviously, thank you everyone for coming. We couldn't have had a better day today than if each and every one of you were not here to celebrate with us. So we are first and foremost most grateful for all of your presence and your support throughout the years. Let me start by talking about my parents a little bit. Over anyone who's planned a wedding and then anyone who's planned an Indian wedding, there's a distinction between the two. And trying to plan 5 days of events with 10 different people giving their opinion is very, very difficult to do. And to figure out how to get it all done and make this day and this week that we've had before this as amazing and perfect as it has been is truly an accomplishment. And I think that speaks volumes to the tight bond and relationship that our family has within itself. So even throughout all the arguments and the yelling and the fights and storming doors closed and whatnot, I can't have thought of a better way than the last week has gone. So first and foremost, thank you to our parents and our family for planning and helping create this event tonight. The next thing I want to talk about is just the support over the years that our parents have given both of us has been unparalleled to any other type of relationship that you could possibly imagine. And I say that from the bottom of our hearts, that our parents have always been there for us no matter the worst possible situation that either of us have been into, that they've always been there to look forward and look at solutions and look on how to move forward and figure out how to get to a better place if we're in a bad place, and if we're in a good place, then how to make it better. And we truly thank you for that. To my second mom and dad, everyone usually gets up on their wedding reception and they say, to my new mom and dad, or finally I have a new set of parents or whatnot. But from the very, very first day, and I think, Dad, you probably remember, it was Forum's birthday many, many years ago. And after, I think it was a dinner at CPK, 8 of her girlfriends decide to go back to her house. And she's like, oh, Samik, why don't you come with us? My dad won't know a thing. And I said, okay, let's go. And, I think the thing that tipped it off was that the fact that when we walked in the door, she didn't even introduce me. And she just snuck me into this basement in front of him while he's sitting in the family room. And she always has thought, probably over the years, that her dad is very, very bolo, is a Gujarati word. naive is the English translation. And in fact, I think, Dad, you've always known since day one, and I think that has helped you welcome me into your family as a son from day one, and not from today. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for treating me as a son from 6 or 5 years ago, or whenever that day was. So, to my brother and my Bobby, I thank you for all the support that you've given me over the years. I couldn't have asked for a better pair of siblings to grow up with and share our lives with as we grow older. And I thank you genuinely for everything that you've ever done for me. And I thank you in advance for all the support that you'll provide both Forum and I as we grow old together. Now, a lot of people always talk about Indian weddings, and they are shocked at why there are 550 people in a room tonight. And a lot of times when you talk about it, you know, as kids, we always tell people, oh my God, I can't believe I don't even know half the people who are coming to my wedding, and I got to meet them for the first time on my wedding day. And that's probably true for several people here tonight. But you know what the difference is that you guys have been the ones who supported our parents throughout the years, who have then in turn made us who we are today. So even if I personally don't know you for the last 25 years or 30 years, I thank you genuinely for helping my parents along the way as they immigrated to this country and tried to start a new life and make a better life for their children, as you have played a very, very important role for them growing up and moving to this country and raising their children. And so for that, I am forever thankful. Now to my wife. First of all, I hope you enjoyed the singing. I apologize if any glasses broke. That one broke apparently in anticipation of the singing. So, I am ridiculously honored to be here standing next to you in all your, this awe of this beauty that you have tonight, and to be able to call you my wife and be privileged to be called your husband. And I don't know words that could express how thankful I am that we have found each other and that we get to spend the rest of our lives together and wake up next to each other each morning and face the day's challenges and come home and be together. And so I couldn't have asked for anybody else to be that person next to me each and every day. And, we met purely by chance 7 years ago. And I couldn't have had a better 7-year engagement than what I've had. Lastly, let me just say a few words about everything you guys have heard about me tonight. The first thing is I didn't realize, I hope all of you who made fun of me, your checks in the gift box better be twice as much you were planning on giving beforehand. Let me see where we started at. Okay. So I think one of the mistakes we made in planning this wedding is that we picked the last wedding date of the year compared to all of our friends this year. Okay. So had we been the first one, we could have at least ripped on all of them first before they ripped on us. Secondly, I'm sorry, the opposite actually. They would have ripped on us first and we could have all gotten them back as the year went on. Unfortunately, I don't have a really witty way to get back at all of them, but that's for the bridesmaids. For the Manan and Lopa, I don't know what you guys were thinking because you guys still have to get married. So I'm not really sure what your strategy there was. And you guys both know how big of a sarcastic jackass I am, that I promise you I will rip you to shreds at your wedding. I realize there are apparently no limits when you marry a Patel. Who next ripped on me? My groomsmen. 4 out of the 6 of you are married. Sanjay, I don't think is ever getting married. And Neil still has a few years left. So, but, you know, it would be ironic if you guys made fun of me for all the things I do and then you didn't benefit from it. But each and every one of you has gotten a free Mexican pizza without buying a drink. With that, I do want to thank everyone who participated. I think it's a underwhelming comment when you realize how much work goes into a 5-minute presentation or a 5-minute dance or a 5-minute skit. And so we both genuinely thank everyone who participated tonight to entertain everyone. As much of a ribbing it was to me, I didn't know that no one was going to rip on Forum to the extent that I got ripped on. But I guess that's part of marriage, and I guess I have to take it. So we thank everyone for coming tonight again. We have a long bar tonight, and we have an after party, so we hope everyone drinks a lot, dances a lot, and enjoys the food. And again, thank you for celebrating this amazing day with both of us.
Say goodbye, not knowing when the truth in my whole life began. Say goodbye, not knowing how to cry. You taught me that, and I'll remember the strength that you gave me. Now that I'm standing on my own, I'll remember the way that you saved me. I'll remember. Inside, I was a child that could not mend a broken wing. Outside, I looked for a way to teach my heart to sing, and I'll remember the love that you gave me. Now that I'm standing on my own, I'll remember the way that you changed me. I remember. I learned to let go of the illusion that we can possess. I learned to let go and travel in stillness. And I remember happiness.
हमको कहते सुपरमैन ऑन कर लो हैंडी कैम फ्रॉम AM to PM बंदे अच्छो सर्विसमैन
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਲਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਬੇਮਤਲਬ ਕਰਦਾ ਬਾਹੋਂ में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए साडी तां देसी है अदा साडे ते हो जानी फिदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे मैं तेरा हीरो हाँ हीरो हाँ हीरो मैं तेरा हीरो मैनू तू हॉट लगदी लखां दा नोट लगदी मौका मिला है अभी होगा ना फिर ये कभी सानू तू टच कर ले मजा टू मच कर ले